Hi, this is BB Ukrainian Analytics. My name is Bogdan Butkevich and I'm Ukrainian journalist and vlogger.
Hi, and I'm Olena Vostrova, a Ukrainian vlogger. And here we give you the top news, analytics and insights about Ukraine and Russia-Ukraine war.
So subscribe for our channel if you want to get news and insider information about Ukraine.
The scandal with Poland is the main topic of the last week. The scandal that is unfolding around the supply of Ukrainian grain through the territory of Ukraine's neighbors.
So, the situation is the following. When Russia blocked Ukraine Black Sea ports in 2022, the question became how to export Ukrainian grain.
After the start of the grain corridor, the issue was resolved for a certain time. But gradually, the Russians began to slow down the work of the corridor.
Therefore, the question arose about the export of grain through other routes, in particular through land corridors, primarily the territory of Poland to the Baltic Sea.
And this is where the problems started.
The European Union cancelled all tariffs and quotas for Ukraine as support, and that is why a considerable part of the grain, which should have gone in transit, began to be sold on the spot of the dumping prices immediately after crossing the European Union border.
Grain and other products instantly collapsed. Prices in Poland plus Ukrainian grain filled all the elevators.
So, as a result, Polish farmers found themselves in a difficult situation.
Namely, farmers and the rural population are the main electorate of the ruling Law and Justice Party in Poland.
Back in May last year, Ukraine's European neighbors banned the sale of grain on their territory, but transit was allowed.
And so, in mid-September, the moment came when it was necessary to continue these decisions. And that's where the problem started again.
After all, Poland ended a tough pre-election campaign before the parliamentary elections, which will be held on October 15.
The intensity of the struggle between PiS and the Civic platform, the two main competitors, is going over the top. They started to use even dirty, compromising material against each other.
And here again the question of the grain arises. Naturally, the ruling party decided to use the issue to demonstrate to its farming electorate how it's to protecting it.
Therefore, when the question arose about whether to continue the ban on Ukrainian grain, the Poles said that even in the UE allows it, they will not do this.
And it is where the Ukrainian authorities made a mistake, a great mistake.
Instead of simply waiting for 3 weeks until the end of the elections and quietly solving all these issues behind the scenes, Kyiv, for no particular reason, decided to raise the degree of escalation.
Instead of not getting involved in what is essentially an election campaign, Ukraine decided to compete with the Poles in a shouting match.
A very stupid decision, because it is obvious that in such a situation, law and justice, which is under pressure from all sides, was simply forced to respond in a brutal manner as harshly as possible to show its toughness and readiness to protect Polish interests. Yulia Sviridенko, Ukraine's economy minister. It is crucially important for us to prove that individual member states cannot ban imports of Ukrainian goods. That is why we are filing lawsuits against Slovakia, Poland and Hungary to the World Trade Organization. A source in the European Union. Poland, Hungary and Slovakia refused to work within the grain platform because of procedural caution and the fact that Ukraine may use the information provided within the coordination platform against these three countries in the WTO proceedings. Taras Kachka, Ukraine's trade representative. We would be forced to retaliate on the additional products and would prohibit the import of fruit and vegetables from Poland. Robert Telus, Polish agriculture minister. If we do not create the tools today, Poland will definitely not agree to Ukraine's accession to the European Union. Piotr Müller, Polish government spokesman. These regulations, the support for refugees, will simply expire next year. I think the regulations will not be extended to a large extent.
ZELENSKY Duda, Polish European Affairs Minister. Ukraine's actions do not impress us, but they make a certain impression on Polish public opinion. This can be seen in the level of public support for continued aid for Ukraine. We would like to support Ukraine, but we must have the support of Polish citizens for this to be possible. Andrzej Duda, Polish President. Everyone who has ever participated in the rescue of a drowning man knows that he is incredibly dangerous, that he can drag himself to the depths. It's a bit like the situation between Poland and Ukraine. Ukraine is under Russian attack, no doubt in a very difficult situation, grabbing for everything it can. Do we need to act in such a way as to protect ourselves from being drowned? Of course we have. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine. Some of our friends in Europe play out solidarity in a political theater, making a thriller from the grain. They may seem to play their own role, but in fact, they are helping set the stage to a Moscow actor. Mateusz Morawiecki, Poland's Prime Minister. I want to tell President Zelensky never to insult Poles again, as he did recently during his speech at the UN. The Polish people will never allow this to happen, and defending the good name of Poland is not only my duty and honor, but also the most important task of the Polish government. We are no longer transferring weapons to Ukraine because we are now arming Poland with more modern weapons. Ukraine is defending itself against Russia's brutal attack, and I understand the situation, but we will defend our country.
As a result, the situation will be resolved, of course, and security and weapons will not be affected.
Because the Americans intervened in this situation.
However, an unpleasant sediment remained.
And the main question is why Ukraine was involved in this escalation.
Yes, you should not surrender your interest for a single gram. However, politics is the art of the possible, and when you are in position of weakness, you need to solve such situation with premeditated steps.
And definitely not to get involved in pre-elections cries, giving food to anti-Ukrainian forces in Poland to score points on anti-Ukrainian rhetoric before the elections. That's all for today. Please write your comments right under this video.
Give us your like and subscribe to our channel.
Here we tell you the truth about Ukraine and give you the insider information about Russia-Ukraine war.
See you.
Goodbye.